What's going on YouTube, bro? It's been a really long time. I haven't posted in like a good over 2 months, but I'm gonna try and stay more consistent, you know. So yeah, let's get right into the video. So we got another Yu-Gi-Oh! Master video today, and I don't remember the last deck that I showed you guys, but this is this is gonna be my new and improved one. I think it's like I think it's finalized. I think this deck is pretty solid. And then I got some gameplay that I got for you guys too. So right here, Mr. Zombie World right here. So this is the deck list right here. And before, like, I know most people when they have a deck they only have 40 cards inside of it, but I honestly just did not know what the hell to do to get 40 cards. Like, I think I needed 50 cards in my deck. Like, there might be one or two cards that I can take out, but I'm gonna explain to you guys why I have all these cards, right? So, for starters, I have the Vampire Familiar. I only run one of these only because this is only most of the vampires that you see, most of the effects come from when they're in the graveyard, right? So this vampire, basically what it does, when it's inside the graveyard, I can special summon it by sending another vampire into the graveyard, and I can special summon it back. And whenever this thing is special summoned, I get to add a vampire monster from my deck to my hand, right? So that's that. The Glow Balloon, this is by far like one of the best cards that I have in my deck, right? Because it gives me access to any card, right? So if this gets sent to the graveyard, then I'm able to put a monster, any zombie monster that I have in my deck in my hand. But if I have Zombie World on the field, and I send it to the graveyard, I'm able to special summon whatever zombie monster that I choose, right? And I'm gonna show you guys why that's heavy. Obviously, I only run one max C because obviously I only have 50 cards. I don't need much more. Plus, I only have one, so I have one Vampire Retainer because it's the same thing like Vampire Familiar. Once you send this into the graveyard and special summon it back by sending a vampire monster to the graveyard, you get instead of a monster, you get a spell. And the only spell that I have that's vampires is probably only I got this. It's either a spell or a trap. So the only ones I have is these two, this one, and this one. So, and I don't really need them. Sometimes I get these in my hand, and they're not really that lethal. So I only run one of these for situational base, right? Then I have the Uni Zombie. So the Uni Zombie, when I use the Uni Zombie, what he does is when he's normal summon, or every turn actually, every turn, I'm able to send a monster from my deck to my graveyard, right? So if I already have Zombie World on the field, then I'm able to use his effect, send this from the deck to the graveyard, and then special summon whatever zombie monster that I need. And then also, his second effect is that I can send a monster from my hand to the graveyard, and if, say for example, this is in my hand, then I get to take this out of my hand, put it in the graveyard, and get the same exact effect, right? So that's why he's really cool. I want to run 3 of these, but I'm broke, so you know, there was that. The Vampire Sorcerer, he's really cool only because if he dies, I get to add any vampire card to my hand, like either monster, spell, trap, anything. And if he's in the graveyard, then I get to normal summon any vampire monster without tributing, right? And every vampire monster that I have, like, this is started from here, like everything, all these are 5 and up, so I need to tribute summon. So therefore, if he dies and he goes to the graveyard, then I'm able to put whatever vampire monster I want in my hand, and then the next play, when it's my turn, I get to normal summon it. So it's pretty dope. What this guy does, literally all he does is give me access to this. So when he's normal summon, I get to tribute him to then get this and then start that whole thing up. I run 3Ds. What he does like the same thing, basically send a monster from my deck to the graveyard. So I usually keep 3Ds because that helps me a lot, especially if I already have Zombie World, right? With Necro World Banshee, what this does is I can send it from the field or the graveyard. I can banish it from the field or the graveyard and then literally put Zombie World from my deck to the field. So it's pretty huge. So usually the combo that I do is that I use Uni Zombie or the Gozo key, send this to the graveyard if I don't already have Zombie World, and then I'll get Zombie World on the field and then I go from there. Pauline, what she does is so basically if any one of my zombie monsters, not even a zombie monster, if I'm getting targeted for an attack, like either my monster or me, I'm able to special summon this out of my hand inside of defense mode, and then so obviously it's covered 2,000. But every single time I get hit, I'm about to get hit with either another card or whatever, I'm able to use up my life points to then buff up the character, any one of my monsters, to match that or go higher than whatever card is hitting me. So I have 2,000 defense and there's a 3,000 monster on the field and he's trying to hit me. Then I get to use her effect to then go up to that one, use up 1,000 life points, and then I get 3,000 defense, and then he can't kill me. And I can do that for every one of my monsters. The only drawback is that I'm using my life points, and I'm using a lot because if he has 1,000, that's a whole 1,000 going down, right? So that's the drawback for that. I keep one Vampire Scarlet because if he's normal summon or special summon, I get to grab, pay another 1,000. You're gonna notice that a lot of these vampires, I pay money. Same thing with Vampire Retainer, and these two have to pay 500 to then use their effects, right? So I use a lot of life, right? So I pay 1,000 to then target a vampire monster in my graveyard, except the Vampire Scarlet, and then I get to special summon it, but it can't attack though. So I keep one of these. You know, because I don't really need that effect too often. But when I do use it, most of the time when I do use it, it's because of Vampire Sucker. So basically, one, if I already have Vampire Sucker out, and any zombie monster that gets bring back from the graveyard, I get to draw a card, right? So that's pretty dope, and that's on either side of the field, right? And also, say if I'm trying to make Vampire Sucker, I need two. Obviously, it's a link too, so I'm gonna need two monsters. So like, I'll probably like normal or special summon him, grab another monster. Now I have two, and then I still have a normal summon, but I'll get into that when I get down there, right? I keep one of Vampire Red Baron inside of my deck because he's pretty nice. I really like him a lot. But I only keep one because he's not my main focus. But he's really good because I can either pay 1,000 life points and then target a monster that my opponent controls, and then basically just like swap my monsters with his, right? By paying 1,000. Or at the end of the phase, I can do both of these actually. But at the end of the battle phase, if I killed somebody, then I get to take his card and bring him back to my field. So that's an extra monster that I get to grab. Or say for example, he has some whatever monster that does something at the end phase after it dies or something, I get to grab it before he's able to use that effect. So that's pretty dope. Vampire Vamp is a really strong card. It sucks only because he only gets this effect only when it's normal summon. But basically, whenever it's normal summon, you're able to target any card on the field that has, well, your opponent's monster that has attack either 2,000 or higher, and then I'm able to equip it to this card, and then I get 2,000 plus whatever that thing had. So that's a really strong card. And then if I were to die, I think if I was able to die by like a card effect, I'm able to like special summon it back if I have an equipped monster to it. Mr. Jacko Ballin. Jacko Ballin is a pretty lethal card as well. What he does, I get to discard any zombie monster and then special summon it from my hand. And he has a quick effect where anytime something's about to happen and during the main phase, I get to banish him. I get to banish this guy and then target any zombie monster either on the field, not in the field, sorry, in either graveyard, and then I'm able to special summon that said monster. So usually I like to grab my opponent's monster only because for two reasons. One, after that card leaves the field, it gets banished. So if he does just say, alright, I'm gonna just destroy my monster to try and get it back or anything like that, it's gonna be banished instead of going back to the graveyard. So therefore, you can't use that monster anymore. And then my other thing is because any monster, if he doesn't kill it, any monster that's on my field that's from my opponent, it turns into a level 6. And this card right here needs 2 level 6 monsters. So that's pretty good too. And I can do this every single play, every single time on their turn. So this card could basically never die. I run 2 of it because the same thing like I told you. I get to discard a zombie monster, right? And if he's in my hand, or anything like that, I'm able to do it. Or any one of these guys that activate in the graveyard, I'm able to send them to the graveyard so I can do whatever effect I need to use, right? This guy is probably the best card inside of my deck, right? This guy makes everyone's quit. So basically what this guy does is, usually the combo that I run, I get Zombie World, and then I send this, and then when the zombie that I usually special summon is this guy, is Doom King, right? So what Doom King does, he has 2 effects. I can negate an effect, or I can banish a monster from the field or graveyard, right? But it's only zombie monsters. And you're thinking, why would it's only zombie monsters? So what if your opponent does not have zombie monsters? That's what zombie wood is for. That's why it's so lethal. Because all monsters on the field or in the graveyard becomes zombie monsters, right? So anytime they summon a monster and they try to do this effect, it's a zombie monster. So therefore, I'm able to negate the effect, or I'm able to banish a card from the field or the graveyard. So it kind of hinders them a lot, but I can only do that to monsters. I can't do that to solo trap. So my entire deck really shuts down, like Fraulein shuts down monsters. This shuts down monsters. Also this guy right here. Only run one of him because I don't know. I just, like I said, I have a lot of cards already, so I don't need to have a lot more. So what this guy does, when first of all, he chose a 2800 attack, so after and 21 defense, so I feel that's not too bad. But when he's normal summon, I get to target 2 monsters in my opponent's graveyard and special summon them inside of defense mode. And then, like I said, any monster special summon to my side of the field or run back to my side of the field from my opponents, they're both level 6. So therefore, I can just XYZ summon and make them, right? So that's always pretty good. And it's also good to like use my opponent's monster from the graveyard, so therefore they can't use or bring them back or anything like that. And another thing, his effect is that he also has a negate as well. So it says when a monster effect is activated while a monster with the same name is inside the graveyard, this is a quick effect. I can negate that activation. And then it says if a monster is special summoned from my opponent's graveyard, then I'm able to tribute 2 monsters on the field, and then I get to bring this guy back from the graveyard. But I never really use that other effect. I only use him basically just for his negating, right? So I run 3 Elders, right? And the reason why I run 3 Elders is everyone knows what Elders does. I run 3 Elders because of this card right here, right? So this card, if I have Elders on the field, then I'm able to special summon any zombie monster from my deck or my graveyard, right? So clearly I want to have Elders on my field at all times, so therefore I can get access to whatever the zombie monster I need for whatever I need to do, right? So that's also lethal. And I also have this other card. It's the same thing, but it's only for hand or graveyard, right? But if I don't have Eldritch monster, then obviously I can only special summon the Eldritch monster from my deck on my hand. But the good thing is that in the end phase, I can banish this card and then set 1 golden land spell or trap card from my deck. And the golden lands that I have is either these two, or these right here, right? And I love this card right here because this card I get to fusion summon any like zombie monster or zombie monster from my deck, right? And that's including using the materials from my hand or my field, right? And this combo is really great. You'll see it when I play. But so I'll use this card, and then I'll use to summon this guy. I need a level 5 and the Eldest monster, right? Which is him. And then I use whatever level 5 and Eldest, and I'll send them to the graveyard using this card. And then I get this guy. This guy can't be destroyed by battle or card effect, which is insane. He comes with 38, 35. And then to top it all off, I can tribute 1 zombie monster and then target a face-up monster that my opponent controls and take control of it for like the rest of the game. I can't activate or attack it during that turn, but if usually I have other monsters, so therefore he's like really like assed out, right? So that's pretty dope. And then after I do that, since he's inside the graveyard because I just fusion summoned, I'm able to bring him back using his effect, right? So his second effect is that I get to grab any spell or trap card on the field that's on my side, send it to the graveyard, put him back in my hand, and then special summon any zombie monster. So I don't even have to special summon him. I can special summon any zombie monster that's in my hand, right? So that, and then they get an extra 1,000 defense and 1,000 attack. So just these two, just that combo alone with him and him, that's already 38 and a 35 monster on the field. So that guy is literally, whoever I'm facing is left with what, 700 attack? So I mean 700 life if he has nothing. So therefore all I need is like 1 other of my monsters and he's dead in 1 turn, right? So it's a pretty lethal combo. I keep 1 of these inside of my deck. I mean, like, all I gotta do is discard 1 card and destroy all face-up monsters that my opponent controls. I mean, like, I don't know why this is a rare card. They need to get that fixed. That should not be a rare card. And like I said, a lot of my cards do something in the graveyard. So even if he has like 1 card on the field, like for this, if I had like Banshee in my hand, obviously if I normal summon, then I can't normal summon again. So if I have him in my hand with this, then I'll just use this effect, send this to the graveyard, so then I can banish it from the graveyard to get Zombie World. and then continue the combo. I have this Book of Life, target one zombie monster in my graveyard and one monster in my opponent's. Special summon my monster and then banish the second one, so that's pretty huge. I'll keep one of those because I don't know, I just need one. I don't really run into too many problems where I need this card. But I like to special summon before I normal summon, only for the simple fact that what Bloodsucker does, I get to tribute any zombie monster that my opponent has, right? For my tribute summon, right? So therefore, this girl right here, any one of my zombie monsters that's 5 and up, even Eldest or anyone, right? So once I get Vampire Sucker out using two of my zombie monsters, then I still have a normal summon left. Then I'm able to tribute their 2 monsters, and then get or 1 monster, whatever many you have, and then special summon or tribute summon one of my monsters. So it's pretty lethal. It's pretty great to have. I have this in my deck only for like those rare cases where I get a really bad hand and I have this for some reason. I get to send any I need to have a monster on the field though, but then I get to send whatever vampire monster from my deck to the graveyard, and then I get to start combos with sending them to the graveyard and paying the 500 blah 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 blah. So you already know what Zombie World does. So Vampire's Domain, what this does is simply if I pay 500, I get to normal summon 1 extra vampire monster instead of an additional to my regular normal summon, and then any battle damage that my vampire monsters do, I get that life back. So that's the good part, because you know, like I said, I use a lot of life points using these monsters. So with this card, I'm able to get that life points back. And I run 2 because I don't need 3, but I also can stack both of them. So if I hit them for 1,000 and have both of them on the field, instead of me getting 1,000 back, I get 2,000 because they both gonna trigger, right? This card, Cursed Eldland, it's a really huge card, and I'm thinking about putting another one inside of it. But as you guys know, I am broke, so and I only have 2 of these. But what this card does, I pay the 800 and I get to grab an Eldest monster or a Golden Land spell or trap, which is the same, either these or any of these right here. And like that is so huge, because say for example I have this but I don't have the Eldest monster, I can use this, get the Eldest monster, and do the combo, vice versa, whatever. So like that is so huge, and it's just phenomenal. You already know what this does. Obviously this, you know, this target 1 spell or trap on the field. I only have 1 of these. I want to play more, and I might switch around this deck and get more. Like I'm not too sure, but my deck is really strong at doing stuff to monsters. But the spell and trap cards, holy crap, you're just gonna walk all over me, bro. So yeah, you just walk all over me, so it's crazy. But use that, I get to at least target 1 spell and trap card, so that's pretty huge. You know what these does? Vampire Domination. Basically, if I have a vampire monster on the field, if my opponent, why I keep saying partner? If my opponent activates either spell, trap, or monster effect, I get to negate the effect. And then if it was a monster, I get the life points back equal to the original attack that it had. So that's pretty huge, because I run a good amount of vampire monsters inside of this deck. So yeah, then you these cards right here, obviously. Oh, actually, if I have Eldest on the field, and he counts as Eldest as well. This guy right here, right? Because when he's on the field, he becomes Eldest, right? So it's so huge, because I came across this guy who kept, no, actually I was playing my friend, and he kept destroying this guy. He kept doing it by tributing him or something like that. I don't remember what the heck he was doing, but he kept killing him. But I was able to bring him back using this card right here, because if I don't have Eldest, I can just revive him back using this card. So it was pretty cool. I ended up winning that duel because he couldn't kill him. He couldn't do what he was doing on my turn. So I did that to him like twice, and it was pretty dope. But if I have Eldest on the field and I use this card, right, I'm able to make one face-up monster on the field become 0. And that stays like that for the rest of the game. And then obviously after I use it, oh, actually he gets used, and he has 2,500 defense, which is pretty huge. But after he dies during the end phase, I get to set one of my other spell cards, either these or these right here. So it's pretty huge, right? Same thing with this one, but the only thing it does, it has 1800 defense, and I get to destroy a card if I have Eldritch instead of doing the 0. So I'm thinking about putting one more of this one because I just love the effect that I can destroy a card. And just any card. It's not just a monster. So this is what I really use to destroy a spell or trap that's annoying to me, right? And then now the extra deck. This monster is pretty dope. I've only gotten him one time because I need to figure out. I need another tuner and a non-tuner that can get to level 7. So I'm able to get that, sadly. But this card is pretty huge because it gains a 100 attack and defense for each zombie monster on the field. So with Zombie World, it makes every card in the graveyard and on the field, in both graveyards too, on the field zombie monsters. So therefore, he already comes to 2400. So imagine how much cards they're gonna be sending to the graveyard, and I'm gonna be sending to the graveyard, and just on the field itself. So therefore, that's 100 every single time. And if a zombie monster is destroyed by battle, then I can special summon one zombie monster from either graveyard. Like he's really strong. I've only gotten him one time because I just suck. So there goes that. This guy, like I said, I need 2 level 6 monsters. And then I get to detach a material from this card, and then target one card my opponent controls and send it to the graveyard. And then his other effect is that once per turn, if a monster card is sent from the field to the graveyard by a card effect, I get to detach one material and then special summon one of those monsters defense mode. So pretty huge. I use him a little bit, not too much. And then Vampire, like you already know, I get to tribute a card, blah blah blah. And then I have one of this because I only have one, and also I don't really use him at all. He's very, very, very situational based. But all he does is that I get to send a zombie monster to the graveyard, and then my opponent loses the attack equal by 200, equal to the level that they was on. So he's very situation based. I don't really use him that often. But yeah, so let's get into some of the gameplay. So right now I am gold 1. I actually started playing a lot more. I just want to try to get the platinum. I need 3 more wins to get the platinum. But first of all, let's look at this match history. And this game, one of these games I accidentally, like this game right here, I accidentally my phone died. So since my phone died, I lost that one. But just look at all the wins I got, like in a row. Like this deck is really good. Like look at this. I only got 1. That doesn't count. 2, 3. I got 3 losses in the last, I don't know, 20 games or so. Like this deck is really strong, man. This deck is really good. But I got a good gameplay for you guys. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, so some of these games are pretty much quick. Honestly, some of these games are pretty much quick. But yeah, this guy went first, and he was using he was in the Dark Magician deck, and my friend has a Dark Magician deck, which he uses a good amount. So like, I knew exactly like what he wanted to do. So I think I played this pretty perfect. I don't remember like exactly like what was going on. But looking at my hand, I have a really great starting hand right here. So I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna activate Zombie World off rip. Right? Oh yeah, perfect. Activate Zombie World. Oh, actually, oh no, I did this. All right, so since I drew, in case he has a negate, right? Since I drew Banshee, instead of me just activating Zombie World, I'd rather use Banshee. So if he negates it, then his negate's gone, and nah, still has Zombie World, right? Because I would have to set Banshee instead, so I didn't want to do that. Right? So boom. So got rid of that. So Zombie World in the field. Then he gets special summoned. Mode. Then I use him. Use his effect to then send the glow balloon in the graveyard. Use the glow balloon. Grab my 28 monster. King, put him in attack mode, and I think I just ended my turn here, right? Boom. Right. So he's 100% probably gonna activate something. Oh, actually no. So this now the way he activated his effect. Boom. So as soon as he activated his effect, I automatically activated his. Like I told you guys, quick effect. I get to grab any monster, any zombie monster in the graveyard, or and then special summon, right? So boom, I grabbed his Dark Magician. I know he wants that a lot, right? So then I use this effect to then banish, and he already quit. Like he already knew what I was doing, right? Because he already knew that I was gonna either negate his effect or banish one of his cards, and I already took. Dark Magicians, they usually always play around trying to special summon the Dark Magician back to use Eternal Soul, blah blah blah. So I just stopped him from doing all of that, and he just surrendered. He didn't even want no smoke. All right, let's get into it. Some of these battles are really short. Like most, like look at this, 3, 3, 2, 3. Like they instantly quit. Like people just they chips, man. I don't know. They quit a lot. This deck is pretty good, man. I'm telling you. This deck is pretty good. I don't think someone has another deck. I actually played an Eldritch deck. I don't know if I saved that video, but I played an Eldritch deck, and I completely shut it. Like, Eldritch is not a good fit for this. So this hand right here, not a good hand. Like it's nothing I can do. I can't even. I really can't do anything. I believe this guy didn't have shit in it, if I'm not mistaken. So then I use this just to special summon my Eldritch monster just to have, right? Just to have something in defense mode just to protect me, right? So special summon him and then just call it a day. Alright. I don't think this guy had it. I don't remember. I was so happy because he threw the top of his deck, and which was like Geki, and that was great. Then I maxed the generally. Try to grab the card. Nice. I think he only grabbed it. Yeah. And then, oh my god, man, just threw my card in the trash, put it right in my deck. I'm like, wow, that's perfect right there. That's like really perfect, right? So, looks okay. That doesn't really hurt me none, right? And then you touch something again, so I grab only zombies, which is pretty good. Right? So automatically gonna use this just to get rid of that max roll, because I don't know what it is. Then I banish this from the graveyard to grab either the dog or this thing, the horse. Right? So I grabbed the horse. Oh, and it was Soul Judgment too, so that was perfect. Right? Threw the banshee in the graveyard, made everybody zombies. Right? Activated his second effect, and then throw this in the graveyard. Watch this work right here. Boom, summon him back. Alright, so let me pause it like this so you guys can see what I just did. So I used his effect to throw the banshee inside the graveyard. Threw the banshee in the graveyard to then get zombie. Used the second effect to throw the Eldritch inside of the graveyard. Right, I used it to throw the Eldritch in the graveyard to then grab him back using the fusion card. I just threw the fusion card in the graveyard to then grab him back, right? So now that he's back, I never normal summoned yet, right? And now I'm gonna link summon into the Vampire Sucker, right? And now what Vampire Sucker is gonna do, Vampire Sucker is gonna allow me to still normal summon, right? Normal summon. So actually no, I'm sorry. I had this card to do a second normal summon. That's why. So I attributed his 2 cards, right? And now I'm about to use her effect to then grab his last card, put it on my side, and he just scoops. He's just done. He's like, I'm not doing this. You just threw away my card. Like, what is this? And he just scoops like, it's too good. It's too good. I'm not gonna show this one. That's level 2. This guy right here, one of the craziest battles I've done. This is 11 turns. I've never seen a game that go this long. This was a really fun and huge game that I played. It was nice. I actually really enjoyed playing it. Cause I had nothing, right? So this card, this hand that I have, I'm like, what am I looking at, right? So I used the Cursed Eldland to then grab the Fusion Summon card, right? Use that, grab the Fusion Summon, and then obviously I'm gonna Fusion Summon Eldritch and the Doom King. The Doom King, also Doom King's second effect is if there's a field spell card on the field, he's able to come back in defense mode every single turn on anybody's standby phase. So that's pretty huge. So even if you kill him, he's coming back and he's gonna be negating stuff, right? So boom, send these 2, trash, put my Mad Lord, put him in defense, and I just ended my turn. Nothing I can do. So like I said, he can't be destroyed by battle or card effect. So this is a really huge card, and this man was just summoning so much, dude. I'm gonna fast forward this. He was summoning a lot. That man was summoning a lot. I'm gonna fast forward this, and I'm gonna show you guys why this card right here was just the best card I could play. And I'm so lucky and glad that I had it, right? So I'm gonna wait until after he starts. He goes on for a while. So just look at how much he can do. I never, like, this is probably the most I've seen someone even touch him. Imagine if I had max speed. Jesus. Never touched him. Another one. The man was just going nuts. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this guy's deck was insane. Another one. This guy's deck was insane. Right? Well, I think this is really. So he destroyed my back row, unfortunately. I was kind of sorry about that, right? So let me pause this right quick. So this guy had 6 material, 6 freaking material. That's already outrageous right there, right? So yeah, so obviously you can see he got 1 through 5 right here listed. So once per turn he has 5. He destroys all cards that I had, right? So obviously he couldn't destroy my eldest monster because I can't be destroyed by card effects. So therefore he destroyed my whole back row. Okay, not even really mine. Because he's not gonna be able to kill me. And the reason why I left him in defense mode, so therefore I can't take any damage unless if he had a monster stronger, which he clearly had, right? So obviously number 4, I can't normal or special summon, which is crazy. I didn't read this until like 2 turns after. I was crazy, right? 3, he has 3 material unaffected by other card effects. 2, he got gained 1500 second defense, and then 1 can't be destroyed by battle, right? So I was like, wow, like how do I get rid of this? Took me like 3 turns to realize that at the end phase of my turn, he's forced to detach 1 material from the card, right? So that was like a huge game changer for me, because all I have to do is keep this man in defense mode, holding it down until he eventually got down to like what, 3 cards, like 2 cards, 2 materials. So therefore he's on. So as soon as he's affected by cards, I can just get rid of him easy, right? So that's what I did, right? So I just waited and then tried to destroy that, and he tried to, what is this? He tried to like negate my effect or something like that. So that got destroyed. I couldn't do nothing. And then he got rid of 1 material. That's good. The man started doing his special summoning, and damn, he's going nuts. He then tried to he brought out a monster that if we like special summon it, he could target my card or something like that. I think he ended up destroying his card because he couldn't target mine, so he had to target his. It was really funny to watch. But yeah, Max C would have did this man crazy. Did this card? It was one of these cards. But look at how much he's doing. That man's doing nuts. Insane. If he had Zeus, I would have lost. Because Zeus gives him everything. So. And then I tried to use, this guy had a negate, so he negated my eldest from coming back. I was kind of sad about that. That kind of hurt. So I tried to destroy him, and that's what fucked up. I don't know why he wasn't able to die. It has nowhere says, oh, never mind. It says, if it's material, yeah, if it has material, it can't be destroyed by battle or card effect. And I did not read that, so kind of left myself vulnerable. I'm gonna say something, right? Yeah. He's just going crazy. Like, I've never seen him for the 200. But like in all reality, once he loses that 1500, then I would have been good to keep on hitting. So now I just beat his. I just whooped that. I hit him for that 3300, and I was like, all right. Because he kept link summoning. Link summoning, like he can't. He's soon to put all these monsters in defense mode, but like you can't do anything. You can't put them in defense. Look, you can't put them in defense mode. So I'm just speaking on it, you know. So I was just racking up, and I top decked with the best card I can grab, right? So if I control Eldritch, like I said, I can destroy 1 card in the field, and as soon as that boy ran out, which was this way, we got rid of that 3rd material, and then boom, watch this. If I can get this card right here, destroyed that, boom, and it was literally game from right there. As soon as that card got off the field, that's all I needed. Use that to special summon. So usually I'll special summon like the Doom King or something like that, but like I said, I didn't have Zombie World, so there's no point in me special summoning Doom King. So I banished Banshee, and I got my Zombie World, right? And then Big Brain, watch the Big Brain, bro. So since earlier I couldn't special summon or normal summon my monster, so I couldn't bring Doom King back. And then also I didn't have a field spell. So now that I have the field spell, right? I banished that card, got my fusion spell, then I burned Doom King, right? Boom. Then I had to tribute, unfortunately I had to tribute summon my one and only Eldritch, the Mad Lord, because Link monsters have to start at the top, and I always forget that. So I had to tribute him, got Vampire Sucker, which is fine. Then I tributed his 2 monsters, then I grabbed this monster, he negated it, and I was like, okay, well, there goes that, I'm gonna get you now. And then he just quit. I think he quit right here. It was a good battle. battle. Like he went really hard, but like he tried to negate me from grabbing his card, but I already knew I had Doom King to stop that, so I negated his effect, and then he just stopped because he was gonna die this turn, which was massive. So that was like a really really great game. Um, but yeah, I'm probably gonna end it right there because this is gonna be a really long video. But honestly, like this zombie deck is great. Like I honestly don't think anyone has a better zombie deck than me. So, but let me know in the comments and stuff like that. Like if there is other cards I could probably add or even take out. Honestly, if you think it's useless, and then I'll see what I can do. But yeah, I'm gonna catch you guys in the next video, man.